10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. Hang on a second. Whoa! Wow! Does it feel good to be out of there? I'm telling you, nice to be back, lady.
Help me out here. Where's your boss? If I was going to talk to myself, I could have just stayed in the lab.
I am a genie. There is a difference. Giants are not real.
Excuse me.
Fuck!
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your BFF Snowy Oreo 663 here, right now. Aladdin! No, go away, Will Smith. No one asked for you. Aladdin, the first movie on our list where the princess isn't the main character, or at least not advertised that way. This story is focused entirely on the love interest, who also holds a record of his own. It's the first love interest who isn't a prince, or at least isn't really a prince. Also, we have the genie, who I stand by is the best character Disney has ever done. And, yeah, I guess I have to acknowledge the elephant in the room. So, to celebrate one of his best roles ever, let's jump into Aladdin. Oh my god. Fuck off, Will Smith! We open with a desert, as a man rides a camel to the city of Agrabah while singing Arabian Nights. This opening gives it a bit more of a cinematic feel than most others before. The man is revealed committing animal abuse while he sets up shop. This guy is voiced by Robin Williams, but his design is very reminiscent of the genie. While most of his gags are improvised, he quickly decides to show the audience a magical lamp, offering to tell the tale of the diamond in the rough. In the story, we meet Jafar, who is meeting up with a thief named Gazim. Gazim brings Jafar one half of a magical beetle, and once the two pieces combine, it flies off to reveal the magical Cave of Wonders. Jafar instructs Gazim to go inside and bring him a lamp, and he can have the rest of the treasure for himself. The cave tells the two that only a diamond in the rough can enter, and swallows up Gazim when he tries to go inside. Jafar's pet bird Iago, voiced by everyone's favorite insurance duck, Affleck, collects the pieces of the beetle as Jafar decides to seek out the one who can enter the cave. We then get introduced to Aladdin, who has just stolen a French baguette and is running from the guards. Back in those times, stealing has resulted in getting your hands chopped off, so yeah, Aladdin better jump to escape that fate. He begins to sing the song called One Jump Ahead as he escapes the guards, showing off his charismatic attitude and athletic skills. His pet monkey named Abu helps him evade being captured, and that's a weird spot to pause on. The guards waste food and kill a few people trying to catch up to the boy, and he evades this nightmare lady.
Still, I think he's rather tasty.
No thanks. Through the song, we also learn that he is an orphan, and I am not counting the sequels. Once he manages to get away, he chooses to give his bread to a pair of hungry kids. Aw, that's sweet.
Selfish little He already ate a bunch of fruit.
I know. Aladdin and his non-existent nipples see that a suitor for the princess is riding to the palace. The two kids from earlier walk into the street, and Aladdin takes the hit from the whip to spare them. He calls the suitor, named Ahmed, a horse's ass, then Ahmed tells him that he is nothing but a street rat. Aladdin walks home, singing a quick riff about how he's more than just a common thief. His home has a view of the palace, where we travel to next. Ahmed storms out of the palace, refusing to marry the princess. The Sultan goes out to talk to his daughter, named Jasmine, who is refusing to marry someone she doesn't love. By the way, her tiger's name is Raja. Spoiler alert, he/she doesn't do anything in the entire movie, so whatever. The Sultan reminds Jasmine of the law requiring her to marry a prince by her birthday in 3 days. Let's do a quick search. I am assuming she's 14 now? Jasmine says how she's never left the palace and doesn't want to be a princess. While the Sultan goes inside, Jafar comes in to talk to him. We learn that Jafar is the Sultan's trusted advisor. Yeah, right. And the Sultan complains about Jasmine's refusal to participate. Jafar uses his snake staff to hypnotize the Sultan into giving up his diamond ring. After leaving, Iago and Jafar joke to each other about ruling the kingdom as they head to their lair. Jasmine sneaks outside of the palace dressed as a commoner, still wearing giant golden earrings that would definitely catch someone's eye. The next morning, Aladdin and Abu steal a watermelon from a vendor, and Aladdin sets his eyes on the princess. While he's watching, Jasmine gives an apple to a poor boy, not realizing that she stole from the vendor. The man tries to cut her arm off, only to get stopped by Aladdin, who makes up a story about her being his crazy sister. Jasmine plays along, and the two sneak away unscathed. Back at the castle, Jafar and Iago are doing some magic bullshit that's never explained, using the diamond to find the one who can enter the cave. Jafar suggests the guards find the boy and bring him back to the palace.
That guy's face when he was talking, with his mustache, it almost looked like a camel's face.
Jafar the camel. Meanwhile, Aladdin and Jasmine head back to his home, and the two actually flirt together and seem to have some good chemistry. Neither share their name, and Jasmine still pretends she's just a commoner. Abu hates on her a bit, but Aladdin nearly earns himself a kiss before the guards find them. In a panic, Aladdin asks Jasmine if she trusts him, and when she does, the two jump down to evade the guards. It doesn't work out well, and Aladdin is grabbed. Jasmine tries to fight back before choosing to reveal herself as the princess. The guards say their orders come from Jafar, and she'll have to talk with him to get Aladdin free. As she goes to the palace, Jasmine confronts Jafar, who says that he captured the boy for kidnapping the princess. When she corrects him and saying that she ran away by her own free will, Jafar reveals that he already decapitated him. In the dungeons, Aladdin feels embarrassed by the way he acted with her, feeling worthless because of his status. When Abu sets him free of his chains, he finds a creepy prisoner in the cell who offers Aladdin riches in exchange for help. It's revealed that this is Jafar in disguise, but Aladdin agrees. At the Cave of Wonders, the prisoner tells him that all the treasure is up for grabs, but the lamp is to be brought back for him. Before entering, the cave tells Aladdin not to touch anything but the lamp. Wait, Abu can go in? Why? If animals are allowed, why didn't Jafar just send Iago in? Anyway, inside the cave, the two meet the magic carpet, who shows them where the lamp can be found. While Aladdin goes in to get it, Abu loses control and touches a gem, which causes the cave to collapse. The carpet flies them toward the exit, and oh boy, these graphics will age well. Looks like it's straight out of a video game. Anyway, bullshit happens, and Aladdin has to hang on for his life while the carpet is trapped under a boulder. He gives Jafar the lamp, and Jafar tries to stab Aladdin before Abu saves him. The carpet breaks free to catch them while the cave closes shut. Jafar excitedly reaches for the lamp, but finds it's missing from his pocket. At the castle, Jasmine tells her father about what Jafar has done to the boy she met at the market, and we journey underground to see what happened to Aladdin. He's stuck under there, but Abu reveals that he somehow stole the lamp from Jafar's grasp.
Where were you putting that? That thing is bigger than you. Was it in your ass? Yeah.
Looking it over, Aladdin rubs the lamp, releasing the genie from his prison. I should mention that there is no way I could highlight everything funny that the genie says. I'll put a few things in here and there.
Do you smoke? Mind if I do? Look at me from the side. Do I look different to you?
Anyway, the genie reveals that Aladdin is his new master, and he gets any 3 wishes he wants. When Aladdin thinks this all might be a hallucination, the genie breaks out into a song called Friend Like Me. The visuals are fun and exciting, the voice acting is phenomenal, and it truly shows the extent of the genie's power. I mean, hell, he's making this chick grind on our hero. What a magical guy. After the song, the genie lays out the rules. No wishing for more wishes, he can't wish to kill anyone or raise the dead, and he can't make anyone fall in love with anybody else. Aladdin decides to trick the genie into getting him out of the cave without wasting a wish, and the group fly off on the magic carpet.
You're getting your wishes, so sit down!
In case of emergency, the exits are here, anywhere.
At the castle, the Sultan reams Jafar for his actions, and Jasmine says how she'll get rid of Jafar when she rules. Iago is able to perfectly mimic Jasmine's voice, so yeah. He suggests that Jafar marry Jasmine to become Sultan, and then they'll kill the princess and her father. In a nearby oasis, the genie drops Aladdin off and feels sheepish when he realizes that he gave away a wish for free. When thinking about a wish to make, Aladdin asks the genie what he would choose. He says that his wish would be for freedom from the lamp, and Aladdin says how he'll use his last wish to set the genie free.
I'll set you free. Yeah, right.
That's perfect.
Yeah. After I make my first 2 wishes,
So
I'll use my
Pinocchio
third
is
wish
part
to
of the
set you free.
Aladdin canon.
Aladdin decides to use his first wish to become a prince so he could have a chance with Jasmine, and the genie gives him a new look, changes Abu into an elephant, and finishes the job off screen. At the palace with the Beauty and the Beast reference, Jafar fabricates a script saying that Jasmine will have to marry the advisor if a husband isn't found. When he tries hypnotizing the Sultan, he gets interrupted by the arrival of Aladdin's prince persona named Prince Ali Ababwa. The song titled Prince Ali starts, and the genie shows off his prince. Jasmine is less than impressed, but the Sultan is very excited by his arrival.
This is my royal vizier, Jafar. He's delighted too.
Ecstatic.
Jasmine arrives to yell at the men about trying to decide her future for her. That night, Genie does a Rodney Dangerfield impression and tries to convince his master to be truthful with the princess. Aladdin is afraid that she won't like him as a street rat, but Genie has a rebuttal.
A woman appreciates a man who can make her laugh.
Aladdin goes to see her and she sends Rajah to shoo him away. She recognizes his hair a bit, but Aladdin says that he couldn't have been the boy she met at the market since he's a prince who doesn't go to markets. He tries a different method of flirting and is less successful when Jasmine insults him. He leaps off the balcony and onto the carpet, then offers to take her on a ride, asking if she trusts him. They fly off, going into the Whole New World song, traveling across Agrabah to Egypt, Greece, and ending up in China. While watching some fireworks, Jasmine name drops Abu, eventually getting Aladdin to admit he was the boy from the market. He chooses to lie and say that he dresses up as a commoner, and she buys it. When he takes her home, he gets a kiss from the princess, and even a smexy look back. Reminder she's either 14 or 15. Aladdin rests on his carpet for a minute before getting grabbed by the soldiers under Jafar's orders, who tie him up and toss him into the water. Aladdin tries in desperation to reach the lamp inside his hat, but passes out just as the genie arrives. Genie says that he can't save him without a wish, and chooses to take Aladdin's dead expression as a wish. What a jerk! Just rescue him! What the hell? Aladdin is saved just in time, and the genie brings him back to the palace. There, the Sultan comes to tell Jasmine that she will be wed to Jafar. He's hypnotized, and Jafar gives us this nasty line.
You're speechless, I see. A fine quality in a wife.
I will never marry you.
What's with the last two villains wanting to f*** the princess? Anyway, Aladdin shows back up and breaks Jafar's snake staff, freeing the Sultan. Right before being arrested, Jafar spots the lamp in Aladdin's hat and uses a vial of smoke to escape. Jasmine announces that she chooses Prince Ali for a suitor, and the Sultan blesses the marriage, telling Aladdin that he will soon become Sultan. He doesn't seem too happy about that. At the evil lair, Iago and Jafar give the audience a few laughs.
Jafar! Jafar! Get a grip! Good grip.
Jafar tells Iago that Prince Ali is Aladdin and tells him to relieve the boy of the lamp. At Aladdin's estate in the palace, Genie does some enjoyable things, including a gag that I remember got me rolling on the floor laughing as a kid.
Hail the conquering hero!
I have no idea why, that just cracked me up all the time. Aladdin tells Genie that he's nothing without him, and he can't use his last wish to set him free. Genie is upset and retreats back to his lamp while Iago lured Aladdin out of his room, mimicking Jasmine's voice. The bird grabs the lamp while Aladdin decides to tell Jasmine the truth about him not being a prince. Before he can, the Sultan shows him off to all the people of Agrabah, making his lies grow even more. In Jafar's lair, he summons the genie and becomes his new master, using his first wish to become Sultan. A storm billows overhead, and Jafar reveals himself as the genie carries the castle to a high balcony. When Jasmine refuses to bow to Jafar, he makes his second wish to become a powerful sorcerer. Using his newfound power, Jafar forces Jasmine and the Sultan to bow, turns Raja into a kitten, and begins to sing a reprise of the Prince Ali song. He reveals Aladdin's true self to Jasmine in an embarrassing display, turns Abu back into a monkey, and sends the two off in a tower of the castle. Carpet manages to follow them into the Arctic, but the trio nearly get crushed by a rolling pillar. Aladdin is thankfully a valedictorian of the Prometheus school of running away from things, and they manage to escape and fly back to Agrabah. In Jafar's new palace, he decides to be a creep by offering Jasmine the option of marrying him. While she's not exactly keen on the idea, Jafar doesn't take no for an answer. He decides to use his last wish to make Jasmine fall in love with him. While Genie tries explaining that he can't do that, Jasmine spots Aladdin sneaking inside and decides to play along in an uncomfortable scene where she heavily flirts with the super old guy.
Now, pussycat.
No, stop, Jesus! Aladdin gets close to the lamp, and Jasmine chooses to kiss Jafar in order to keep his attention. Sadly, he sees Aladdin's reflection in her tiara and tries to attack him. He locks Jasmine in a giant hourglass, turns Abu into a toy, and the carpet into string. While trying to taunt his enemy, Aladdin calls Jafar a snake, which, yeah, you don't really have good odds right now. During this epic fight, Genie offers plenty of laughs.
Rake 'em, rack 'em, rock 'em, rake, stick that sword into that snake! Jafar, he's our man if he can't do it.
Great! Squeeze him, Jafar. Squeeze him like a... Ah!
Aladdin does some cool jewel surfing, but ends up getting squeezed by the snake. The trickster Aladdin decides to make Jafar feel weak by telling him the genie would always be more powerful. Jafar falls for the trick, using his last wish to turn into a genie himself. Aladdin frees Jasmine from her sand trap, and then shows his foe that being a genie involves being a slave to your own lamp. While being pulled into his prison, Jafar grabs a hold of Iago, keeping them both trapped inside. Everyone turns back to normal, and Genie tosses the lamp into the Cave of Wonders. In the aftermath, Aladdin apologizes for lying to Jasmine, and they realize they can't marry each other because of the law restricting her marriage to princes. Despite Genie's suggestions to use his last wish to become a prince again, Aladdin chooses to set Genie free. After another funny joke,
Wish for something outrageous. Say, I want the Nile. Wish for the Nile. Try that.
I wish for the Nile.
No way!
the two hug and Sultan sees the good inside this boy. revoking the law and allowing Jasmine to marry anyone she wants. She of course chooses Aladdin, who decides to choose a new name for himself.
Aladdin.
Call me Al.
Genie heads off wearing a goofy hat, and the couple kiss on the magic carpet, flying off towards the moon where...
Made you look.
This is the Disney movie I watched the most as a kid, and I remember loving it to pieces. Does it still hold up? Well, let's jump right into... Category 1, Best Princess. So we have a different type of character with Jasmine. She's not the main focus of the story, but that doesn't mean that she's bad. Jasmine is one of the most clever princesses so far, even willing to kiss the villain in order to get Aladdin to grab the lamp. She doesn't care about status, and she prefers the market boy over a prince. She has big dreams, and is the first girl who actually isn't interested in being a princess. However, I'm putting her below Belle for a couple reasons. One, of course, is because we don't spend as much time getting to know her. She's not in the story as much as our other heroine. While they are both willing to fight back against injustice, Jasmine herself uses a different method because she's royalty. Belle had nothing but her voice, while Jasmine could just order someone to do something. Lastly, Belle is a bit more relatable than this girl. She's a commoner who just wants adventure from her boring life. Jasmine is living in a palace and wants to escape to an average everyday life. Jasmine is an incredible princess, and I'm sure she'll stay up high, but for now, she's at number 2. Category 2, Best Love Interest. You already know he's at number 1, so I'll keep this short. Aladdin has the clearest personality out of every prince before, and he's a kind soul deep down. While he does steal, he really doesn't have another choice considering the time period the movie takes place. He's super smart, able to trick several people into doing things, and he even gets a character arc, learning that hiding under a web of lies is never the way to go. When he is his true self, Jasmine enjoys being around him. Lastly, his decision to free the genie is what truly shows the goodness in his heart. He's the diamond in the rough, which means he may have found his permanent home at the top of the list. Category 3, Best Side Characters. Let's start backwards. Raja is cute but does nothing, Abu is funny but kinda disappears in the second half of the movie, Carpet is well animated and helpful, the Sultan is energetic and fun to watch, although he is kind of a bouncing idiot. No surprise there, as apparently father figures in Disney movies have to look exactly the same and act exactly the same. And the genie is the greatest thing ever. The animation is absolutely spectacular on him, the improvised dialogue is hilarious, and he still has a personality and a goal he wishes to achieve. Every second he's on screen, you're keeping your eyes locked onto him. Robin Williams truly is a treasure here. I'd recommend this movie for him alone. Although I do have some news. Sadly, the genie has been hospitalized due to back issues from carrying this movie's side characters all the way to the top spot. Category 4, Best Villain. Let's start backwards again. The soldiers are pretty intimidating, although they aren't that impactful to the plot. Iago is freaking hilarious, even more than LeFou was, and he still can turn into a force of evil not to be reckoned with. Lastly, Jafar is actually a pretty good villain. His design is more reminiscent of the classic villains than someone like Gaston, and his powers outweigh almost any other before. However, Jafar's downfall is when he goes the Gaston route and tries to fuck the princess. I hate seeing stuff like this in kids' movies. It's fine to have romance, but where an older villain wants to get with a teenager? No. Also, he is a bit dumb. Why doesn't he hypnotize Jasmine into marrying him? Why doesn't he use that disguise thing again? Why not just stab Aladdin to ensure his death? While he does do many dumb things, he's still a pretty funny villain, like when he constantly mispronounces Prince Ali Ababwa.
I think it's time to say goodbye to Prince Abubu.
The way him and Iago work together to get laughs puts him high up. It's the first villain that's actually funny. Also, his creepiness only comes in later in the film, so I put him above Gaston. His stupid choices do put him below the smart Ursula, so he'll situate at number 4. Category 5, Best Princess Song. Jasmine only sings once in the movie, and it's in the Whole New World song. Absolutely beautiful visuals in this melody, showing Jasmine's desires to explore and be independent. It's also cute for a romance song, as Aladdin learns more about his crush and woos her in his own special way. While the 3D animation on the carpet is a little shaky, it's still a nice number and flows together a bit better than Belle's song. You already know the entire thing, so screw it. It's at number 1. Category 6, Best Villain Song. I was actually surprised to remember that Jafar got himself a number. It's not that bad, but it's not inherently good either. The visuals are powerful and it shows off Jafar's new abilities, but its downfall is the length. It's way too short to be fully enjoyed. Not to mention the beat is harder to catch than the song it's reprising. Still good, but not near as good as his predecessors. Category 7, Best Side Character Song. Pretty much every side character's song is great in this movie. One Jump Ahead is enjoyable, Prince Ali is a spectacle, and the one I'm ranking here, Friend Like Me, is just, well, fun. There's so much to go through with this one. The beat and melody is very catchy, the visuals are eye-popping, and it introduces us to the outward personality of the genie. While I might be a bit biased on this placing since I grew up with this as my favorite Disney movie, the genie and I are tight. Any chance to see him bouncing around is a pleasure. Now, to explain why I'm placing this over Beauty and the Beast, even though I gushed about that one as well. The number is fantastic, but it's not as catchy as Friend Like Me. Hot take, but Beauty and the Beast is a better song than Be Our Guest. But it's not as good as a song that will make you jump up and dance. I mostly ranked it for the visuals, but even the visuals on Friend Like Me are better due to the high energy they portray. Am I being inconsistent?
Yes.
But it doesn't matter, this is my show. Friend Like Me is at the tippy top. Sucks to be you guys. Category 8, Best Believable Romance. Finally a love that's equal from both sides. Jasmine doesn't care that Aladdin isn't a prince. Hell, she's a bit disinterested when he fakes and talks about being royal. She's flattered by the compliments he gives her, and they do have similar problems in the opposite fashion. Aladdin is a bit more interested in her looks, but he does change and sees her for more than that. He listens to her problems and wants to do anything he can to be with her. I mean, he's practically willing to give her up so he can come clean to his lies, simply because he respects her and doesn't want to play her for a fool. The time they spend together, whenever Aladdin acts like himself, they get along very well. He's the first guy to get a kiss before a declared happily ever after. They're pretty cute together, and I believe their affection from both angles. They're at number 1. Category 9, Best Animation. The Genie has some of the best work from any Disney movie ever, let me just get that out of the way. The whole film has a different feel, where most characters are animated more bouncy since they move quicker than the previous works. Jasmine is more expressive than Belle, and the fast-paced animation makes it more enjoyable. However, there are a few problems. There's many spots where characters shake a bit, like Jafar's face here against his still body. There's also spots where characters freeze, like Abu here when the camera pans away. The backgrounds once again fall into the Cinderella trap, looking clearly like paintings and not flowing as well. Lastly, the 3D animation isn't very good here. When Disney uses fully 3D backgrounds, it doesn't always flow as well. The escape from the cave looks like an Aladdin-themed video game, and the carpet's CG body makes it move weird at sometimes. The animation is better than Little Mermaid, but the 3D renders are not as good as Beauty and the Beast. Sorry, Genie, even you can't save this one. Aladdin will be at number 2. Category 10, Best Movie. In my last video, I said that Beauty and the Beast is best described in the word beautiful. So, what's Aladdin described as? Fun. It's one of the most fun kids movies out there. There's action for the boys, a princess for the girls, cute animals for plushies, bouncy energy and colors to keep attention, a good moral for teaching, a nice romance for OG Disney fans, a darker villain for older viewers, and references for the parents that kids could still laugh at. This is in my top 5 favorite Disney movies of all time, not including Pixar, and there's a million reasons to love it. While I could imagine some children getting bored during the slower moments of Beauty and the Beast, there's no way a kid would tear their eyes away from this guy. There's just some things that can't be remade. This is an incredible masterpiece. What a fun experience. Thanks for coming to the review. Now, I'm sure you know about the movie The Lion King, but here's a fun fact about that film. Disney put their less experienced animators on that film, while the more talented ones were set to work on Pocahontas, believing it would become the next magnum opus. Let's see how that turned out. Of course. We'll look at the first American princess next month, and you'll be getting Sleeping Beauty flashbacks. Bring some coffee. See you then, and remember, don't trust creepy prisoners in dark prison cells. Bye-bye!